Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on what time of the day you are watching this video. I am here to expose you to another magical way that Excel can make your life easier and make your work seamless. My name is Olani Ishofunwa, and I am glad that you are here today. In today's tutorial, we are going to discuss and I will demonstrate how to use the count if, and the count ifs function. These are exceptional functions that you need to know in Microsoft Excel. So sit back, relax, enjoy and learn from this tutorial. And there is a bonus embedded in this video. So watch to the end and unravel this bonus. In Microsoft Excel, we have different forms of the count function. We have the count function, the count A, count blank, count if, and count ifs function. The count function counts the number of cells in the count function counts the number of cells that contains numbers. The count A counts the number of cells that are not empty, while the count blank counts the number of cells that are blank. So the question is, what is the difference between the count function and the count A function? To explain the difference, let us demonstrate. If I use the count function to calculate the total number of students, which is 10, at the same time, if I use the count function, let's see if I use the count function to count the number of students, this gives 0. So that shows that the count function count only numbers, but the count function does not count text strings. However, if I use the count A to count the numbers, let's see the count A to count text strings. So from here we can see that the count function only counts numbers. It does not count text strings. But for count A counts numbers, and at the same time we can also use it to count the text strings. So that is the difference between the count function and the count A function. Now, the count blank we use count the number of cells that has missing entry. So let's demonstrate all these forms of count with this example. In this table, this is a table of students with their grades with their grades, their age, and gender. Then the total average score of all their grades is 3.4. So the first task is what is the number of students? In this case, we are going to use the count A function. The number of students is using this count A function is 10. Don't forget that count A counts cells that has both numbers and both text strings. To count the number of grades, we use the count function. To count the number of grades, then we'll select the range, which is 36. That is, we have 36 grades in this table. They count the number of missing grades. Then in this case, we employ the count blank function because that counts the number of cells with empty entries. So in this case, let us select our range. So that shows that we have four missing grades, and let's confirm. That's right. We have four. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that shows that our count blank counts correctly. Now, the next exercise is count the number of girls. In this case, the condition is we don't only want to know the number of students, but how many of the students are girls. So we use the COUNTIF function. If we recall our COUNTIF formula, we select the range, and in this case, the range is the gender. What that is column E. The criteria is girls, F. That shows that we have 4 girls in this class. Also, number of boys with the count if function. We select our range, M, to show the number of boys. That we have 6 boys in this class, and we can confirm from this gender column. So the next exercise is the number of girls with score that are better than average. So in this case, we are asked to fulfill two conditions: number of girls, and not only number of girls whose score is better than the average. So we recall our COUNTIFS function. The number of girls. So let's select the girls for the criteria, the first criteria, which is the range of girls, the range of students, girls, which is F, that score is better than the average. So we select the average from the average column, then better than the average. Let's employ our quotation mark, greater than the total average score is 3.4. So that shows that we have two girls that scores better than the average. And let's confirm. Here we see that Temitope scored better than average, then Katazina scored better than average. And the last exercise is number of boys that are older than 35 years. So also we are asked to fulfill to meet two conditions. The count ifs as well. Number of boys. So let's select from the gender column E, the number of boys. We select him. Then the second condition is whose age is older than 35. So we select the in the age column older than 35, quotation mark, greater than 35. That shows that we have three boys that are older than 35. And if we want to confirm that, three boys older than 35, Jackson is older than 35, Williams is older than 35, and Noah is older than 35. So this confirms how we can use the count functions. Now let's look at another real life example. In this case, we have a table of countries with continents, population, land area, and density. This table has a total of 235 rows, and uh, we are asked to solve these questions. How many countries are in Africa? So in this case, we want to count the number of countries, but that are in Africa. So the condition is Africa. So one condition. So in this case, we are using the count if function because just one condition, Africa. So let's record our count if function. So the range is continent. We select our range, continent. The criteria is Africa. So in quotation mark, Africa. So that shows us that we have from this table 58 countries. We have 58 African countries from this table. Now the next exercise is how many countries in Europe has a population density that is less than 100. So we have two conditions to meet. European countries, population density less than 100. So we use the count ifs because two conditions. The count ifs. So criteria one, the criteria range is the continent column, Europe, that is the criteria. So the second condition is that European countries whose population density is less than 100. So the second criteria, the second condition is whose population density. So we select this density column less than 100. So that means we have 22 European countries with a population density that is less than 100. So the third exercise is how many countries in Asia has a population greater than 5 million but a land area less than 200,000 kilometers square. So in this case, we are asked to fulfill three conditions. Countries in Asia, population greater than 5 million and land area less than 200,000. So also we use the count ifs function. So let's recall our COUNTIFS function. Right. So the first condition, countries in Asia. So let's select our criteria range. And the criteria is Asia. The condition number 2 is population greater than 5 million. So we select from the population column greater than 5 million. So greater than 5 million. Then the third condition is this: land area less than 200,000. So let's select from our criteria range the land area less than 200,000. Less than 200,000. So we can see that we have 18 countries in Asia. Their population is greater than 5 million, but their land area is less than 200,000. So the last exercise, have you subscribed to this channel? If not, do it now. Like this video, share it to your colleagues. So let's do the last exercise. How many countries in North America has a population less than 1 million, land area greater than 100, and density less than 200? So that means we have 4 conditions to meet. So we are using the COUNTIFs function. So let's recall our formula. So the first condition in countries North America. So let's North America. The criteria is North America. That's the first condition. The second condition, population less than 1 million. So let's select the population column less than 1 million. Now let's look at the third condition. Land area greater than 100. So land area greater than 100. Greater than 100. And the last condition, density less than 200. So let's select the density. Density less than 200. So quotation mark less than 200. So from here we see that we have eight North American countries with their population less than 1 million, land area greater than 100, and their density is less than 200. So let us confirm the last one. From here, let's filter the North America. Population less than 1 million. So let's filter the population column less than 1 million. Okay. The next one, the land area greater than 100. So let's filter the land area greater than 100. And the last condition, density less than 200. So if you filter the density less than 200. So that shows that we are correct. 8 countries, and our function gives us the correct answer. Now, the last thing that we're going to do in this tutorial is the bonus. The bonus that I promised at the beginning. So in this bonus, we have a table of European cities and countries. So the task is, for each of these cities, we want to identify how many cities appear in more than one country. So in order to do this, like we had this table has 19,717 entries. To look for how many countries, how many cities appear in how many countries is more or less like looking for a needle in a haystack. So we employ our COUNTIF function. Our COUNTIF will show us how many cities are duplicated. So the criteria range is the city column, and I select one of the first one. So this tells me that this particular city in Albania appears only once. So let's replicate it for the rest of the list. So from here, when I do my filter, it shows that it will show that one city appears 4 times. That is in 4 different countries. That's RIS Inland Waterways is in Belgium, Luxembourg, Moldova, and Ukraine. Let's check, let's confirm again. If we select 3, we want to see the cities that appear in 3 countries. Wow. We see from here, Baden appears is an Austrian city, is also a French city, and is also a city in Switzerland. So this is how to use the COUNTIF function to identify if your entry has a duplicate or not.
Thank you for watching this video to the end, and I believe you learned something from it. If so, talk to me, tell me, leave it in the comment section. And don't forget to like and share this video to your colleagues, to your family and friends, so that they too can learn from it. And before you go, click on that subscribe button. Yes, click it now. Click that button now and hit the notification bell so that you will be aware when I drop the next tutorial video. And if you are struggling with any function in Microsoft Excel, put it in the comment section as well, and we shall look at it together. Bye, and see you in the next class.